Hello, hello,
No.
hello. Whoa, so close.
Yeah.
Hello, hello, hello. Thank you all so much for being here. My name is Shalise Meikle. This is Artist Talk at the Vapa Center. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, yeah.
Yay.
Thanks, y'all. Thank y'all for your time. Really appreciate it. Um, on the stand with me today, I have three lovely artists. If you would all do us a favor, would you state your first and last name and your pronouns? Yeah, cool. Gentleman first.
Oh, I am Eric Pratt. Pronouns he, him.
Yeah, excellent. And next.
I'm Umayal Annamalai, pronouns she, her.
And I'm Markia Humphreys, pronouns she, her.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. Appreciate it. Um, with that, would you please also, there's two more very crucial questions I have to ask you. I need to know what your favorite color is. Um, and then what is like your primary medium? What is your go-to source for creating?
Um, I am primarily a photographer, so I don't necessarily have um, a favorite color.
What's your favorite lens?
I don't
Lighting?
really have what I like. I like thing to be like. I like shadows
Nice.
and I like clouds. Clouds. That's my favorite color. Clouds. We're
That's a
going with
great color.
clouds.
Yeah, colors, clouds is a color. Absolutely.
Clouds.
There you go. Nice.
Yeah, for me, like I love rainbow, all colors, but my favorite is yellow. Yeah,
Nice.
it's bright. So, my medium is like I primarily work with acrylic, so like I like mixed media. So, yeah.
Lovely.
My favorite colors are lavender and periwinkle, hence the outfit today. And then my main medium, I would say, is painting, mostly acrylic, a little bit of oil.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, and then as we go through the talk, if while we're talking, one of the images pops in your head that you submitted for the presentation on either side of us, please feel free to talk about it. What event was it in? What inspired you to make it? Things of that nature, and give us the title too, so we know which one to look at. Yeah. But um, let's get to know you a little bit more. Was art brought up in the household? Was it encouraged? Was it discouraged? Did you get to like rebel and just like paint on walls? How did you? How did art creating get started for you?
Oh, me.
Yeah.
Oh,
We can also like if you like, hey, I want to speak up first. Please grab it.
okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Anybody else? No. Okay.
Four introverts on a stand.
Yeah. So for me, that was growing up. I remember like my father taking some art classes when he was taking some college courses, and he used to draw horses, which was I always thought was fascinating because he would draw like it was very intricate and well done. If you ask him, he would probably tell you, I don't know, it's whatever, you know. But to me, like when I was young, I was like, this is the greatest thing ever, and I always loved seeing the photography work that my uncle used to do. He had a picture of my aunt sitting in a chair beside of a window, and I just remember it being like soft and warm, and this was, gosh, probably early '80s. So everything was shot on film, and it was just so warm, and it just felt cozy, and I loved it.
I'd love to see that sometime. No.
I wish I could find the image. It's like a leftover memory.
Word. No, it's even more precious though. Something I love about photography is how you really get to like snatch a piece of time.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, nice. Thank you so much, Eric. Umayal, would you please? Yeah, was art brought up in the household? How did you get started?
I would say it wasn't like nobody was like an artist, but my mom, we do like creative. It's like a cultural art, like they do every day outside the house. They use like rice flour and do it on the floor. So I have seen my mom, my grandma do, and my aunts. So that's what inspired me to like. I always loved drawing and coloring, but I never imagined like I'll be an artist or like I want to pursue this career. Yeah. So yeah, always my grandma and my aunts, they are all the inspiration for me.
That's awesome. No, I
Yeah.
love it that yeah, like everybody got to pitch in, multi-generational.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
So for me, I grew up in a household with mostly musical people. So my mom was a gospel singer. Both my brothers could play instruments, and I don't have a lick of musical talent. All of my creative abilities went into the visuals. And so if you go to my home to this day and like pull our family dictionary out, you'll see my scribbles from when I was a kid, where I draw next to words that I felt needed a picture with it. So it was never like I didn't have my parents telling me I should be an artist, but it was never discouraged in my household. And so I've just always been doodling, drawing, doing things as much as possible. So I think it's the second.
Yeah. No, that dictionary is an awesome sketchbook. Yeah. I mean, I like the cool ones have pictures. Exactly, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. It gives you the location, whatever. Yeah.
Mhm.
Nice. Um, yeah, giving your reader like something, a visual aspect, the way they're not just like all on their own. Yeah, I like that. Um, how does your background shape how you work today? Do you gotta like get to work with your ancestors? Do you do any kind of like past? Maybe you draw horses. Maybe you work. What was it you said a morning? The rice cooker, or
Yeah, rice floor.
yeah. Do you incorporate that in your work today?
Yeah, I mean, I do participate in the festivals and I teach people like how to do those with the rice flour on the floor. So yeah, and I also like teach in my workshops like how can we use the sacred geometry. Yeah.
When can we see your next workshop?
Yeah, it'll be soon, like in the library, like I'm planning, but I don't have the dates right
No,
now.
no, no. Just curious. Yeah, a chance to network. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sorry.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's what like always trying to incorporate whatever in our culture and how can we get that to the next generation. So, yeah, that's what I'm passionate about.
Nice.
Yeah.
You actually said giving like readers a visual with the words. And
Yeah.
so, funny enough, what I also do is graphic recording, which is all about listening to what people are saying and at an event and sort of creating a visual from it. And so I never actually made that connection to me doodling in the sketchbook, but or in the dictionary, but that's the type of work I continue to do now, and just going to different events, and it's an opportunity for me to learn and also to help others kind of get that information to stick in a different way, because not everyone is like a listening learner or like a physical learner. Some people are visual learners, and so that's how it's kind of continued.
Nice. No, it's I love it. Like so many people don't understand that like there is different types of learning, and it's I think it's, as a teacher, it's super important to be able to do your best to access all of it. Yeah, nice. Yeah, incorporate it in your artwork. Why not? But yeah, Eric, does yeah your background shape into your artwork at all? Like, do you think about your uncle
No.
often? Okay. You're not like I gotta recreate this photograph. You're
I
not
mean,
like
yeah, I think everything that we experience influences in some way or another, right?
yeah.
And like, yeah, like that one image, it kind of sticks. Like, I like a lot of my photographs that I do. It's like, especially like of plants or people, I like it to be very soft feeling, very warm. Um, I like it to feel nostalgic. Uh, just yeah. I guess it's difficult to separate the things that we experience and the things that we love from the stuff that we make.
Yeah. No,
Mhm.
I get that. Nice. Um, well, I'm nervous that this next question will be a little redundant, but I'm gonna try to do a spin off of it. I want to ask y'all, how do you invite play into like your work and how you create? Um, yeah, is there a specific technique maybe, or a light source that you chase, or a color palette, or maybe a different book? Like you put away the dictionary for a day or something, and you go to something else. Like, what does play look like for you while you create?
I mean, for me, it's like textures. I love to play with textures and patterns. So I just love the stencils or like some kind of. I try to find different materials to play with textures. So I just put the gesso on the canvas and then I play with the textures. And then the inks, I like acrylic inks, so I just spray the inks and see how the color moves. And yeah, it's like intuitive. So I just don't have anything in mind. I just go there and play with colors. So
Right.
yeah, that's how I de-stress, or like that's my go-to thing. Like when I'm feeling so stressed or something, I just go to my canvas and then I just play with the colors. Yeah,
Right. And was like, yeah, I play. That's what I do.
yeah,
Thank you. No, as artists, I think we need that
yeah,
reminder to have
hmm
that freedom.
yeah,
It's
hmm
important and hard.
yeah.
And then there's a follow-up question for you.
hmm
Do you have a favorite texture?
Um, I think it. I won't say like favorite, but I love all kind of textures. Like I just love to play with textures. Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, Markia, how do you invite play?
I think for me, it's also about the material. And so either the material or sort of like the process. So one of the most recent ways, I don't play enough in my art. I will say that. It's definitely something I need to like kind of build into my routine a little more. But one of the ways I kind of let myself play in my art was to start taking some classes in printmaking, which is not my medium. So kind of remove myself from my typical medium and just like go for it in something else, and to genuinely just play around and see what happens. That's how I tend to play.
Nice. Now, have you read The Artist's Way?
I have the physical book, and have I made it through all the way? No, but I did start it.
Yeah, I just started, and it's been really transformative so quickly. I
Mhm.
didn't. I had the book forever. 5 friends recommended it, and I was like, that's nice. Then I started reading. I was like, oh, this is amazing. Yeah. But as far as play goes, I'm a painter,
Mhm.
but I'm gonna say F it and start playing the cello and just see what happens. Yeah. No,
Nice.
it's so important to like get
Yeah.
into other mediums,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's how I play with my
Mhm.
creativity. It's like, okay, painting is annoying for whatever reason today.
Mhm.
What else? What isn't? What is not annoying? What is to be
Mhm.
playful?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Eric, how do you invite play? Do you like
Um,
different lights?
Sometimes, usually it boils down to giving in to my intrusive thoughts, like, in a reasonable manner.
That's an awesome answer,
Um,
though.
it's it's like what would be really funny,
Yeah.
and then you kind of follow that along, and then it becomes the next step of what's happening, and then it's like, ooh, yeah, and then we're gonna also do this other thing,
Mhm.
and sometimes like with photography, just changing where you're looking at something, like the direction you're looking in, or sometimes the light source. Like I love like just taking pictures of things because it's one of those things you can't stop looking at things in a way, in a certain way, like everything can be a photograph, right? Or everything can be a painting, or whatever, a drawing, or of whatever you're trying to do. And it's the way lighting interplays with just everything around us makes a big difference.
That's a good answer. Yeah, giving it
Mhm.
into your intrusive thoughts. That's a great way to play.
Mhm.
Absolutely. I have a tendency, the intrusive thought will turn into like five more, and then
Hmm.
I have like too many projects.
Yes.
That's my
Yeah.
loving mistake. That's my loving mistake. Um, are there any artists that y'all look up to? Maybe there's an idol or even like a old teacher or something, somebody who you may even call upon, like creatively.
Yes.
Yeah.
So many people.
Nice.
So actual in terms of like mentors, people I can actually communicate with. Katie St. Clair, she lives in like Davidson, Mooresville area, I believe, but she works at Davidson College, which is where I studied at. And then there's another alumni from Davidson. Her name's Tyler Wilson. She's also an artist. She lives out in Georgia. And then Nellie Ashford. There's a painting of her right around the corner. She's my best friend. We went to Africa together, and it's just great to be around her. And she's someone who you can always have a conversation with. And then in terms of sort of like references and like people that I look up to stylistically, I would say Kara Walker and Shaniko Gay, um, are two just really powerhouse women artists who I just love to see. So
Yeah, accurate.
yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, for me, like I get inspirations from nature, from so many different artists. Like Monet is someone like I look up to, like the impressions, how he creates, and Van Gogh and Picasso. So I get a lot of inspiration from those artists, seeing their work, and yeah, and like coming to APA, seeing all other artist stuff, like kind of inspires me, like to try different mediums or different way of expressing ourselves. Yeah,
Yeah. No, it's so important to have like a collection.
yeah,
Yeah,
mhm,
because
mhm,
yeah, people you look up to and or like different textures, different mediums, different colors.
yeah,
Yeah.
mhm, yeah.
Eric.
Um, I am fortunate to be part of the VAPA community. So it's like there's so
Yeah.
many people I could
Mhm,
name off that I just walking around the building, talking
Yeah.
to, different people doing different things. And
mhm,
it's always interesting. It's always amazing just to see how someone else views something
yeah.
and just does it differently, you
Mhm,
know?
Yeah. No, it's definitely a blessing being in the Papa Center.
Yeah.
It's insane.
yeah.
Yeah, because you can go bother people to just either forget that you're working,
Mhm,
Hmm.
just be like, okay, I can't look at this right now.
mhm.
Or you can bother people to be like, would you look at this?
Yeah. What am I doing wrong here?
Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm missing something.
Yeah.
What am I missing?
Mhm,
Yeah, no,
yeah.
that's a huge blessing here.
It
Mhm,
is.
Yeah, yeah. Also,
yeah.
you're more than welcome to come here and just bother us, because 10 times
Yay.
out of 10, it's not even a bother. Ten
Yeah.
times out of 10.
To just hang out.
Yeah.
Truly,
Yeah.
truly. Yeah,
Mhm,
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like 70% work and then like 35% play. And I did, yes, I mean that. um, no, yeah, just getting another pair of eyes on it as well, especially like
Mhm,
somebody. I've bugged photographers to look at my
mhm.
artwork. It's like, what do I do? And Michael Maxwell in particular would be like, don't touch it. I was like, fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
um,
He's good about that.
yeah, he's
Yeah,
really good at
yeah.
that. Yeah, yeah. But yeah. Do you um in the artist way, there's this cute little suggestion to have artists dates. Um, it's essentially 2 hours that you just take to yourself and you create, you may not create, you might just meditate. It's just time for you to unwind. It doesn't
Mhm,
even have to be productive. Um, it's actually preferred that it's not productive. Is there anything like that that you can do in your adult life, like even like a 5 minute? Any pro tips essentially would you give to artists that are like going through their day to day, like, oh my God, how do I make time? What do I do? Where's like my creative outlet? Um, yeah, any pro tips you could give us, or like things that you do? Yeah,
For me, it's like having the structure, like having everyday creative practices. Like that's what keeps me like be more mindful. So like doing it on a same time, like every day, it's like a non-negotiable. Like every day, like half an hour I have for myself. So it's like whatever I want that day. Like sometimes I just need to take a walk, so I just go for a walk outside, or I just play with the colors, or I just play some music and I dance, or in whatever way I can express myself. So yeah, it's about the consistency and yeah,
yeah,
doing it every day. That's what like makes me like it is important for my practice and yeah, taking care of myself and yeah.
no, that's something I really love about your artwork. I still remember being first introduced to you and how you teach your watercolor classes. So, um,
Yeah.
but and then follow up question
Mhm.
on your nature walks. What do you collect? Any like leaves?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I love to collect leaves or like acorns or whatever things that I find. Like I love the texture, so I just collect them, and then sticks or whatever that finds interesting to me in the nature
nice,
walk. So I love to collect them, and then how to like use those textures. Like how can I bring that textures in my
yeah,
art? Yeah,
nice.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I love that.
Could you ask the question again one more time just
I
to make sure I
did.
understand it?
No, you're good. You're good. I
Yeah.
did. I went off script a little. In the artist's way, there's this idea of artist dates. Um, and then it kind of fumbled into what time do you allow yourself to like unlock your mind? What is there any kind of tranquilness that you do that you to make space to have be tranquil and then you can go create? Is there anything that you do special for yourself as an artist? That's a better way to phrase it. There we go.
Right now, I would say no, which is probably why I'm not creating as much as I'd like to. Because I think I'm like mentally a very assignment based type of person. And so it's like when there's a project that comes in, I'm like, okay, I have to make something for this or a
Yeah.
commission and stuff like that. So I'm trying to kind of build something like that where I can actually gear myself up to make work. And right now, I think one of the most important things is keeping it in front of me because out of sight, out of mind is a real big thing for me. And if I don't see it, I'm not going to be thinking about it.
I see you.
So I have like everything, just like everything in my living room, neatly ish, but in my living room so I could see it on the way in and out. And that's kind of gotten me like, oh, what's this? I'll go and I'll start working on it. And so, yeah, I think that's been helpful, but still working on building an actual routine. That would be good to have.
Yeah, Uma's so disciplined. I love it. Yeah, I'm very jealous, honestly. Um, yeah, no, I need more structure in my life as well. Just even just in terms of creating a regimented schedule and don't like allow other things to get in the way of it, right? Like I think that's the hardest part
Yeah.
as an adult. Um,
Yeah.
It's so easy to get distracted.
yeah,
Yeah, I would say like as a mom, like I have like so many things on my plate, so
yeah,
it's so easy to prioritize others' needs and like yeah,
yeah. They're older now.
yeah, they are
Yeah,
older,
yeah, but still.
but still,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely still answer Eric as far as what do you do for yourself special, like art wise special? Is there anything special that you do for yourself as an artist?
Um, I think sometimes I just sit quietly. Is helpful. If you can get to a place where there is not distractions, which is challenging in and of itself. Um, but I think like every day in the evenings, I walk the dog, and dog smells things, and I look at things, and like sometimes I'll take a camera, sometimes I won't, and usually it's right when the sun is going down, and it's like the best time
Yeah.
to take pictures of anything.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like after dark.
Yeah.
Um, and it's a time that I don't have to think about anything. It doesn't have to be about anything. I could just go and I can appreciate like the neighbor's flowers. There's one of our neighbors down the street, and he's got flowers. He's worked a lot on his yard, and he's got like roses that come through like one of the fences, and like some other flowers over by his mailbox. And I just look at them. Sometimes I'm just like looking at the details of the individuals or how the shadows play off of it. And some of the better works I have done have been like in those moments. Like one of the I think one of the photos that I sent you is of a flower that I took after dark. That's like propped up beside one of the neighbors' mailboxes, and you can see like the street lights in the background.
This is where I tell you that I didn't add that one because we added my eyes, and I'm sorry. So what's on the PowerPoint is your clouds, the acrobats, and my eyes.
Oh right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, I should have
And
messaged
it's okay.
you. It's a beautiful photo when you see it. It
You can
doesn't.
see it. It's on display right now downstairs in the Citrine Gallery.
Thank you. There you go.
Mhm.
It's a beautiful photo. That's taken at dark.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It's so bright.
Yeah.
I'm not
It's
a photographer.
well, it's I didn't use any external lighting, and there was enough like ambient light, and then like you turn the ISO way up, and like the modern digital cameras now, like they see in the dark.
They're crazy. Yeah.
It's wild stuff, but it's yeah.
Yeah.
I just I used a digital camera, and I'm pretty sure I had like an old manual lens that I picked up for like $40, and then I just painted over it in Photoshop. Did some other stuff.
Nice. Oh, that's awesome. Have you
Yeah.
ever developed film, like from like black and white room,
A long
or not
time
just the
ago.
black room? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I still remember the chemical smells from all the stuff. I think mom sent me to a camp when I was in eighth grade to for photography, and it was just like it was a bunch of us like running around with cameras and film and just taking pictures of each other and whatever. And then we went into the dark room and developed the film, under a red lamp, and then we did the printing on the photo paper because
Nice.
it was like mid to late 80s probably, and I still I don't have the photo, but I still remember a photo that somebody else took of me and one of my friends that were just like trying
So
to
tough.
act cool,
So tough.
in eighth grade because that's what you do. And yeah,
Nice. Oh, that's awesome. I love it that each of you express like a childhood memory.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I definitely want to make sure I incorporate that in my questions in the future. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. That was thank you, thank you. What I don't know. The one of the questions is have you noticed what have you noticed in changing from part-time to full-time artists? Are any of you full-time artists? Yeah, okay, cool. How do you what are your other part-time jobs besides parenthood for some of you? Because that is a whole job of in itself that doesn't get a 401k, and I honestly think that's still ridiculous. There should be health insurance included.
for sure.
Yeah.
100. Yeah. What are the other part-time jobs that you have as well as being an artist?
I work full time for a large multinational corporation that I will not name because of contracts that they have that I have to tag them on anything that I mention,
Okay.
which could be held disciplinary against me
Okay.
at
We're
any
just gonna
time.
yeah.
Yeah,
We're gonna avoid that then.
yeah,
Yeah. But you're also a dad.
I am.
Yeah. You're also a dad.
That's one of my kids right
There
there.
we go. Forgot about that.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
quite all right. No, it's fine. They get enough. They spend plenty on advertising,
Truth.
and yeah, so I do that full time, and I'm fortunate enough I get to shoot when I can.
Oh, that's awesome. Heck yeah. Yeah, Uma. What? Yeah.
I'm a full-time artist and a mom, so
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. What? Was there another job besides motherhood that like kept you away from art full time?
No, I haven't done any full-time job.
I want to say lucky, but like again, I know parenting is a full time job. And again, no 401k, no benefits.
Yeah, so being an immigrant, so it was hard for me when I moved here. So I didn't have the visa to work. So I studied architecture.
Nice.
So like I have to write an exam here, get a license to work as an architect. So I had the kids, so it was like a full-time job for me. So I couldn't like go to work. Yeah. So and then I became an artist. So,
Well, we're very thankful for that.
yeah.
Is your background in architecture?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where did you go to school?
In India. So I studied in India and I worked for like a year and then I got married and moved here. So it was like a huge change for me. Like the culture was different and everything was different. And so I felt like so isolated and so lonely. So art kind of helped me to like figure out like who am I or like what is it that I'm here to do.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Hmm.
Do you mind if I ask more questions about architecture?
Yeah.
Right. I have like
Right?
15 questions now.
How much time do you have? Can someone tell me what time it is? I don't know where my phone is. I'm sorry.
Oh.
3:06.
306.
Thank you. Yeah. So did you get to draw blueprints? Did you get to like go in the field and like wear a hard hat? Like what?
Yeah, I mean, I went a lot of trips. Like we went to like Taj Mahal or a lot of like buildings in India. So we went for case studies. We have studied and like I've done blueprints and yeah, I enjoyed like studying how they like constructed those kind of like architectural marvels. And yeah, I love the details. Like in Indian temples, like if you go and see the temples, the carving, intricate carvings and the
They're
details.
beautiful.
Yeah. So I love to like try to like in my thesis I did like how we can like renovate the old houses there. Like we have like huge houses, so how we can use it like a multi-purpose room, or we can use it for different uses. Like yeah.
I always thought there was a geometric aspect to your art, and I couldn't place it, and now I know, and I love that.
Yeah.
um, nice. Would
Yeah.
you would you ever go back to architecture, like once kids are grown?
I've thought about it, but I think now I'm in a place where I love healing. Like I love to do more workshops, how we can use art as a tool to like how to de-stress and how we can bring that more mindfulness in our like healing and workshops. That's where like I'm planning to go. Yeah. But I learned a lot from being an architect, like how we can bring, like how that left side and the right side brain. So how we can like bring both of that, and yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
if you succeed, heck yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Marquis. Eh,
I just finished up a fellowship at Davidson College, doing arts and innovation, and actually I met Uma there because I did a whole bunch of different things from curating exhibits and doing public art, and also doing workshops with students. And now I moved to Charlotte, and I am a barista, and so we are living that life, making coffee. Yeah, mostly on the weekends, but at Giddy Go, if y'all ever want to stop by and see me. It's a great
There you
coffee shop. We
go.
have empanadas and
Nice.
really good pumpkin bread.
No,
Shameless plug.
That sounds good.
y'all's
Yeah.
empanadas are fucking
They're
fire.
so
They're
good.
so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
They are so good. I think that was the first time. But no, the barista life is definitely like sustainable for a time, right? Yeah, and it's like okay, this pays the bills, and I can still do what I want. Nice. What I'm so sorry. Tell me again what you studied.
Studio art.
Very nice.
Mhm.
What does that entail?
So because Davidson's kind of a smaller school, it is a smaller school. Studio art is just like a broad overarching term. So we had classes in digital studies, we had sculpture, we had painting, drawing, and so we didn't have to choose a concentration like some larger schools. So it was a free for all, which is why I'm a mixed media artist.
That's cool though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it gives you like an opportunity to try different things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm really happy to hear that program exists. You mentioned, I think you mentioned that you also curated.
A little bit, yeah.
Nice, like full time. Like, did you assist, or were you like choosing where paintings go?
I was choosing where paintings go. It was at an um, it's called the Hurt Hub for Entrepreneurship and Innovation, and so up until that point, there wasn't really any art in the building, and so I was like, but artists are creatives, artists are entrepreneurs. I mean, and so that was my goal during the fellowship is to bring more art in there and bring different artists to the center, just because they have a lot of resources that would be beneficial to anyone. So yeah, I curated a few shows for students. I brought in outside people and community members, alumni, that type of thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
What other like part time shenanigans do you get into as an artist? As a like, I
Mhm.
think I work with 4 nonprofits right now, just like random gigs here and there.
Yeah.
Nothing sustainable. um, but yeah, is there any other little part time besides being a barista? Um,
Um, Not. I mean, I'm like doing graphic recording right now, and so I just had a gig at Davidson College, ironically. And then I'll be at Confluence this Wednesday. It's a music festival. It's a 3-day music festival, so it's Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, or actually, it's Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I just got moved into that. So yeah, there's like little like yeah, like you said, kind of side quests that happened. I've been volunteering at Spring Clean at in the Innovation Barn. So if any of y'all are into textiles or sewing, I know they could always use volunteers there. And the coffee shop there is also really good. I like coffee. Can't tell. But yeah, those are the main things right now.
Um, and you said something that sparked me. I was wondering, and you could also please elaborate more, Markia, but are there any projects, like ongoing projects that y'all are working on? Anything you're excited about? Any upcoming exhibitions that you'd like to promote, or be like, hey, I'm putting it out in the universe. I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna say it out loud, and then it's gonna happen. Anything like that? Yeah, you kind of are. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
well, yeah,
Yeah,
just
please
to reiterate.
elaborate. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'll be at Confluence I'll be there on Thursday, and so it'll be like an engagement board for people to come and kind of talk about the things that they want in the like Charlotte and Greater North Carolina music community. And in terms of like play, I'll like link back to that. That's
Yeah.
another way I like to play is by stepping into other different forms of art. So like I said, I don't have any musical talent, but I do definitely feed from the creativity that musicians have. I think that's the only thing that's coming up right now for me.
Okay.
Nice.
So I have a workshop in Mooresville Arts. So on October 19th, I'm going to teach about artist liberation, a workshop around like playing with colors and like sacred geometry. And on October 20th, I'm going to be speaking about mental health. Like this is my Brave show, so I'm going to talk about how art can help in mental health. Yeah. So
Yes, that's awesome.
yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
So currently, I have some work here on display downstairs in the Citrine Gallery in the lower level, along with numerous other photographers that you can view. Um, Also, you can hire me to shoot your work for either display, prints, or I will also do what's it called? My mind totally went blank. No, I will shoot your art opening if you need
So marketing.
marketing events.
Events.
Oh,
Thank
that's the
you.
word.
Yeah.
Event photography. I also do event photography. Um, so yeah, hire me for that, please. Thank you. Um, but I'm working on a project like one that I've shot with you, as well as several other artists that I know, in which I'm just kind of tentatively titled it Windows, because it's primarily just the section of the eyes, and then I will take a photo of a piece of their favorite art that means the most to them or represents their work, and I'll combine the two, and drawing and digitally and overlays. Um, and eventually, I hope to have enough pieces to have my own show with those pieces.
Yeah, how many do you have right now? At least three.
Almost, no, six. I
Nice.
have six.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm working on the seventh. Um, Pam's the left brain artist. I've got hers in queue to work on next after it simmers long enough on the back burner.
And say the title again.
Windows.
Excellent. So this is where I inform you that when you sent the photo to me, you sent it as Shalice something test. So that's what I called it.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah,
just so you know.
it was the initial.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, good.
it was the initial test painting. And
Okay.
I was like, I just loved how it turned out. I'm like,
Excellent.
just leave that alone.
It's already in the ether. Just
Yeah.
letting you know.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Well, as an artist, like I can't tell you many things. It's untitled. Like I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's several pieces I have. Is like I don't.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
gotten to the point now where I'll like put testing and then like 1.7. Um,
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
and then if it's like a different color, it'll be like 2, 2.5.
I
So
should
I
do
honestly thought that's what you were doing.
Well, I am now.
Excellent. You're welcome. You're welcome. Well, pro tip. Yeah.
Thanks.
No, Markia, that's something I loved about your works was the titles. They were very well thought out. Um, would you mind, well, if you sent me 3 images, right? Thank you so much. So then all 3 of yours are on display. And then if there's one in particular you'd like to talk about as far as the title, like what brought you to have that title for that painting or piece of work, yeah.
The only one that I can remember right now, honestly, is plus two. And so that was a more recent painting that I did probably around April, I believe. And that is a picture, it's based off of a photograph of Nellie Ashford and two of the children who lived at the house that we stayed at while we were at Ghana. And it was she ran over there. She like was pulling up different videos on Facebook that she thought were funny, which were very funny actually. And she like ran over there to show it to them, just because like we had been in the mode of sharing videos back and forth that evening after dinner. And I just took a picture of them on the couch while I was sitting in the dining room. And so the nice thing about the trip was that we stayed with the family. We didn't get a hotel. We weren't in an Airbnb. We were actually with the family. So like we got to help cooking occasionally. I mean, we were like washing clothes because we were like, we're here, let us help. Like, if we can help, might as well. Um, and so I really felt like I got two like younger siblings. One, I think she's wearing a pink. I can't see. I think she's wearing a pink shirt. I can't remember. The younger girl, sort of to the right in the painting, she was 9, and then the son of the family was 23, which at the time I was also 23, so we were the same age. But yeah, that's I just feel like I have two new members of my family. And it was just like a really good experience, and I wanted to kind of capture it through paint.
That's beautiful. I remember looking at it like that is so playful. I'm so curious. I'm so glad you picked that one. Yeah, and then there was you also did a portrait. It looks like someone's,
Oh, yeah.
but she's looking. The subject is looking at you, and I'm like,
Mhm.
yes.
Yeah, that one, Young and Gifted is what I named it after the Aretha Franklin. I'm picturing the album Young, Gifted, and Black. And so that piece is actually a gift from my friend. She graduated in 2023, and I mean we'd been friends. She was my recruit. I ran track at Davidson, and so she was my recruit. So she came and visited and stayed with me before she even came to the college. So we just have had a long friendship. But the image is like a portrait of her along with her grandmother, who like she just has always been told she looks alike because they're related. But she does. They're like spitting image, and so that piece is sort of was for her kind of to capture like she's come a long way from like Florida and her family and stuff, but just like all the steps and progress that she's made over the time. And so I was just really proud of her and wanted to give her a piece that kind of captured everything she's done. Yeah.
Beautiful stories. I love how you incorporate storytelling with your 2D work. Yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. And then last but not least, Uma. Um, I remember two of the pieces that I chose out of the five you submitted. It's a circle. It doesn't quite look like embroidery, but it's like a hot magenta background.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one. If you wouldn't mind telling us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean that was the sacred geometry. It's about like balance and symmetry. So the dots come first and then the lines go around. So this is about the structure and the masculine and the feminine energy, how it plays. Like first we need the structure so that the energy can flow. So yeah, that's how there's a lot of patterns, and it's very mindful and intuitive to draw those. It's very calming. So when I draw, so this is like a practice, like the creative practice they do, like every day morning to be in that flow, that creative flow, how we can create that momentum in our life. So it's like a gratitude practice they do in our culture. So every day morning, it's to remind us that nothing is permanent, like the impermanence. So that's why they use rice flour, and then they like clean the porch and then begin each day like a new canvas, like so start with a positive, and how can we bring that positive energy inside the house? So that's why they do that practice. So it's about that structure, and it's done on the threshold. Like we always are on the edge, right? So when how we are all interconnected, we all are in this together. So sometimes we feel alone, like isolated, and so that's what like even though I am so far away from my country, like my family. So this practice kind of makes me feel like I'm with them, like my ancestors are with me and I'm close to them. So like doing those art kind of helped me to be in touch with my roots. So, yeah.
No, and that's so beautiful that you get not only you get to do that, but you get to do it creatively with art and make beautiful artwork from it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
No,
Yeah.
there's one design in particular that I keep seeing in your artwork. It's not quite a figure eight,
Hmm.
because they also interconnect, if I remember correctly.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, they're so. It's very sacred geometry, but you're so accurate. It's so beautiful.
Hmm.
Is it all freehand?
Uh, I I think you mentioned the dot paintings or
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I use like dotting tools or like the back of the brush. So sometimes I use back of the brush
Nice.
um, to get those dots. So those are like very mindful, and I totally like you have to be in it, so that you can get precisely those dots. Like one will be like bigger, and then you have to walk the dots so that it will be like smaller, bigger and smaller, like kind of. Yeah, it's very intuitive and very calming to do those mandala dot painting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love learning so much about your artwork.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I try different, like it's very intuitive, and some days I feel like I need to focus. So whenever I feel like I need to focus, I go to the dot paintings, so it kind of helps me to focus and like concentrate. And some days I just want to play, so I just abstract art. I just go like play with the textures and colors. And sometimes I feel like doing portraits. So how can I express my emotions? Like how am I feeling right now? So I do some portraits too. So yeah, I try different things. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think we could all learn from that. As far as you can have structure and play
Yeah.
as a creative.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
There will be one last question. Hoping this is a decent segue. But is there anything that you do? Is there anything that you do to like serve yourself? This question came from another artist talk, and one of the answers was the artist they would like go to a hotel and just be served. Or yeah, how do you treat yourself as an artist? How do you treat yourself as an artist? And their answer was like I go out to dinner by myself, or um, yeah, their answer specifically was just to be served. Is there anything besides going for a walk, like besides like chores?
Hmm.
Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like,
Poorly. I
hmm?
don't, you know,
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah. What'd you say,
it's like,
poorly?
yeah, it's like, yeah, it's, I think it's, um,
Is it yeah going to the gym?
Yeah.
Is it yeah?
I don't know, other than like the dog walking,
Okay.
it's, yeah, and occasionally trying to get out. It's not, I don't, there's like, I can think of a dozen things I should probably be doing that would be more constructive than most of what I'm doing most of the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I really don't know what to add to that.
Yeah, no.
It's,
As it was coming out of my mouth, I was like, we already touched on this. Yeah.
okay, well, that's fair.
So there's been a lovely note from the
Yeah.
wife in the audience that there is a multitude of photography
Okay.
boxes,
That's fair. That's
lens.
fair.
I'm assuming lenses, paper, lights,
Yeah.
things. Um,
Stuff.
my boyfriend can attest to 9 times out of 10, there the kitchen island will be clear for like maybe a whole hour.
Yeah.
Maybe a whole
Yeah.
hour. Right now there's some chalices and spray paint on it. Yeah. There's always going to be something. One of the exhibitions, I just took over the entire living room, and I just apologized every day. I was like, thank you for dating me. Like, I understand I have a studio, but there's a couch here. Yeah. um, oh yeah. When it's out of sight, it is out of my mind. It is
Yeah.
just it does
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
exist.
Yeah.
It does not
Yeah.
exist.
Yeah,
Right?
I agree with you. Yeah, I mean, my house is also like a mess. Like I
Yeah.
work from my house, so yeah, it'd be all over the place.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I don't understand. I love seeing clean artists. I'm like, how do you function?
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, no. If I shut the door, it's gone. It's
Mhm.
forever gone.
Yeah.
But yes, was there any other like last details, any things that you serve yourself with, or that is a little redundant, but anything, any other things that came up to mind?
For me, like, yeah, as a mom, like I cook every day. So at times I say like I'm not going to cook today, so we are going to go out and eat. Or yeah, that's how like I take care of myself. And yeah. So yeah.
That's a great treat.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's an awesome treat.
Yeah.
For me, I think it would be going to different types of events. This kind of again loops back into the idea of play, but just like going to concerts, going to get a little drinky drink that might have music playing, at like Lorem Ipsum,
That's
like
a
that
great
type
thing.
of vibe.
Yeah, that's a
Just
great
like
thing.
usually going by myself, but also like if I'm feeling more social, bringing a friend. But yeah, just giving myself time to not going somewhere to network, going just to appreciate and enjoy the art and enjoy the vibe and sit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. I once tried to write up a concert because it's for light studies. So it was for an artistic purpose. And thank goodness my tax person is a friend, and he's like, dude, no. It maybe if you were a musician, you can get away with this. And I was like, noted. I'm telling everyone. So yeah, you can use fun activities as research in your taxes. Just fun fact. Um,
Nice.
but yeah, that is going to be all of our time for this evening, this afternoon. Excuse me. It is not dark. We don't have windows in here. I keep forgetting. But if you all would once again state your name and then this time would you state your social media handle, where can we politely stalk you and follow you?
I'm Eric Pratt, photographer. You can find me on Instagram at Firesalt. Um,
I've always do you mind why fire salt? I've always been so curious. Just like 2 seconds.
so, a long time ago, in the early 2000s, Google was first starting, and they started this email service called Gmail. And I needed to have an address.
Mhm.
So I took two words and I stuck them together, and now I have an email address.
That is an excellent answer.
And then I just kind of carried that with me. I'm like, okay, this is what I do now.
Beautiful. I'm just yep. Why not?
Because why not?
Why
I mean,
not?
fire, I like fire. It's useful.
There you go. Salt's delicious.
Salt's delicious.
Salt's
Yeah.
tasty.
Yeah, I mean, why
Fair.
not?
Okay. That is a great answer. No, that is a great answer.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that.
You're welcome.
I knew whatever the answer was going to be, it was going to be good. Whatever. Like, there's a tiny story though.
Yeah.
So, and then Uma.
Yeah, I'm Umayal Annamalai, and my Instagram is at Umayal Art.
Yeah, keep it simple. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
And then Marquis.
I'm Markia Humphreys, and my Instagram handle is at leaving.my.marq. Mark. Yeah. My mom came up with it.
Did she?
So where the creativity comes from, like both my parents. Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Now I remember receiving your Instagram. I was like, yes, that's a great Instagram.
That's great.
Love a pun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. But yeah, thank you all again so much.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
with
you.
pleasure, with pleasure.
Yeah.
I do think we are out of. No one's cutting me off. So, what just? We're gonna open up the questions to the audience really quick. We'll have time for at least two. Yes, Kevin.
Oh, wow. Okay. Um, I think they both tie in together because, like uh, Uma was saying, impressionism is a big influence for me as well in both my photography and my painting. Um, I think my painting is easier because of my photography because I got used to looking at things in certain ways, in certain lighting, uh, setting myself up for success so that like shadows play out more naturally. Uh, the eyes, of course, go above the nose and the mouth. That's, you know, that
Nailed
is
it.
important for proportions of the face. Thank you, Mark Decker, for that important information on how to frame the face. The eyes go above the nose and the mouth.
That is a great pro tip.
Yes.
Yeah, that is a great pro tip. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Hello, how are you? It's good to interact and get to hear from amazing artists from you guys. Very successful, and uh, uh, I lack words to express what you guys have been able to achieve. So I come from Nairobi, Kenya, and I work with a lot of artists uh, within across different geographic regions across Africa. And one thing that I've been able to learn from this talk, you have, shared your success stories and the process of which you have been able to go through to get to where you are. But there's always that moments where we get to, trial and error. You try, you fail, you try, you fail, but you get to a moment where, try again differently, but you succeed and you shoot. And what was that one moment that, made a difference for you on how you approached your work, how you interacted with people? What was that one moment profound that changed the way that helped you scale up to the next level? Thank you.
Derek,
Mhm.
for the record, I'm gonna steal that for the future artist talk. That's an excellent question. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank
That
you,
is
thank
great
you
Yes,
so
question.
much.
thank you.
And
That's a
yeah,
great
I thank you
question.
guys. First of all, let's give them a round of applause.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So yeah, over to you.
Yeah.
Um, I would say like falling forward. So I have like tried so many times and I failed. Like failure is not going to like stop me. How we are going to like get back up and move forward. So for me, it's like always having faith in my practice. So that's what like helps me to move forward. So how many ever times like I have failed, yeah, I take it as a learning process. So it's a process for me so that I can, whatever thing I do, I learn from it. So it's just another experience. So it's not a failure.
That's a great answer.
Yeah.
What she said.
Yeah.
That's, there are no real failures, I
Yeah.
guess.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh.
I don't know. I feel like that's a beefy question in terms of like if there was a specific moment that like made that shift to success.
Mhm.
I don't quite know if I'm there yet. I think it's all just like a process and you're just trying to figure it out. I wish I had an answer. I think the moments that I at least feel successful or feel that momentum building up is when I kind of like run into people and like make those connections out of the blue kind of and I'm like, wait, this like you can start kind of drawing the strings and like, okay, if I can see this connection, then that means I'm going in the right direction, that type of thing. Um, hopefully that was a helpful somewhat answer.
So for your like how does your this is for Miss Humphreys. So how does your family inspire you to like pursue your passion, which is art?
That's a great question.
Mhm.
I would say I talk to my parents just about every week. They live right in Eastern North Carolina, so only 4 hours away, not too far. Um, but I just kind of keep telling them about what I'm working on, and they're always just yeah very supportive. They'll like talk through ideas with me. They're great at like being a it's called a sound wall. I don't know what you like
Sounding board. Yeah.
sounding board. That's it. Yeah, I could just talk through. Like I said, my mom came up with my Instagram handle name. They like always trying to be like, you need to post, you need to share. I promise you, I could bet you like $20. My mom, they're like traveling right now, and she's probably told 3 people about me and like shown the Instagram. And so like, like just like unprovoked, they just love. They're just really supportive and always will say my name in rooms that I'm not even in. And so I'm just very appreciative of that. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thank you all so much. Most important, thank you all for being here. This wouldn't happen without you. Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, the next artist talk, the artists are still being selected, but that artist talk is our next Open Studios, which is November 2nd. Yes. So yeah, come back November 2nd, 2 p.m. For the artist talk, and we are about to get into the portrait
Oh.
paint off.